some that aren't 15. Yeah. I was surprised about that. I asked Hillary when she was in here.
Microphones are live.
You don't see that when you take class.
Yeah, they won't certify you until you're 15.
Everything you say, I say yes to. Right. We've gone to so much, right? Yeah.
Did you get one of them truck passports?
What's that?
Yeah, just have,
No, we were getting lucky and everything, never fell in the yeah. We were in Istanbul, walking, all by ourselves. I didn't hear them. Why not? I don't care.
Even have to follow that.
They already wrote it. Will you close that window for me? It's pretty loud. The window. What now?
Yeah, great.
It's almost the next
You
clock.
ready to rock and roll?
That clock's a minute fast.
I got it.
No, I was talking to him.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I know. I know you got it, yeah. That clock's a little fast. Yeah, you in a hurry?
All right, I've got
What?
the clock. We'll call meeting to order.
Never.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What are you starting the meeting at 6:09?
Thank you everybody for coming. We'll go ahead and do roll call. Doug?
Here.
Michelle? Here. Roger?
Here.
Megan? Sarah?
Here.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented or amended?
I move.
Second.
Motion second to approve the agenda as presented. Any questions? Now we'll go to vote. Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
All right, on to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Okay, motion second to approve the consent agenda. Any questions?
Well, I was a little bit humbled by the price of the garbage, but that's the annual charge, $73,000.
That was actually a typo with an extra zero on it.
Oh, okay.
It's 7,300.
73.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, your garbage rate's gonna be going up.
I was thinking that was wrong.
Yeah, no, it's a type, did you print out the emailed version?
No, I was
Is
just
that-
looking at it on the.
Okay, got it. Yeah, we have an updated version with the zero
Yeah.
knocked off of it.
Any other questions? Now we'll go to vote. Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
All right, updates and presentations with city administrator.
Great, okay, so we have a couple of significant updates since the last meeting, and it'll tie into one of the resolutions later on. So as you know, we ordered the shade structure, and it was, about a $25,000 to $27,000 project, budgeted and approved. Well, when we were told by the grant-making organization that we couldn't start work on that and expect to get reimbursed, I went back to the manufacturer and to the company that was going to install it and said, hey, can we push this off? Well, they told us we're going to have to pay $980 a month in rent because it was already on a truck, already produced for us. So we went back to the grant-making organization, and Upper Mississippi said that since we got past the first round, we could take the shade structure and other improvements that we had under that grant and replace them with other things that we were, also planning on doing or planning on funding. So the big update is the shade structure is getting delivered tomorrow, installed next week, because we can't justify spending $980 a month. And that the grant-making organization won't look negatively on us for changing up, what we're trying to do with the pool. So the shade structure will be installed. Like I said, it is budgeted. You had approved it, with the hopes that we would get this grant money. Just went ahead and we're going to switch it out and put some of the other capital improvements that we want to do at that facility, at the end of the season instead of at the beginning of the season. So that's the major update. It has no fiscal impact whatsoever, on what's been budgeted there. It'll just replace other items. So any questions about that? Because it's a big change and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Great. Then that is it on my updates outside of what we're going to talk about.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to new business. Number 11, Resolution 2645, approving the use of pickleball courts in South Shelter House for a tournament hosted by Tent Vision on June 13th, 2026.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion second.
Great. The reason I didn't put this on consent agenda is that, this is an outside third-party non-for-profit putting on a tournament there. And you'll notice that in our resolution, I have it that there has to be proof of insurance by that third party, because pickleball, as you've probably read, is a game that has a lot of injuries and there's a lot of legal exposure. So I just wanted to make sure that it was in the resolution that when we give the permission to use it, there has to be a certificate of insurance with Strawberry Point listed as an additional insured. And this is really important, and I will not let that tournament go on without the certificate of insurance. It's too risky, and just wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page with that in case there's issues, which is why it's written in there. Any questions about that?
I do have a question about it. I have not seen the insurance policy for the city, but would that mean then that what would be the difference between me and a friend playing down there playing football? Wouldn't the risk be the same as if there were a tournament being played down there?
Yes, it would be the same, but the tournament is being promoted and held by a third party that has their own tax ID number, and as far as insurance goes, let's say that somebody who's not a resident, not a regular visitor, but is going to come in town to compete in that tournament for prize money were to hurt themselves, that's not something that would typically be covered by our insurance. And it may cover it, but it may not cover it, as insurance somehow or sometimes goes. And it is standard practice for third-party organizations to.
So do we do that with Little League?
Yes, yeah. Every organization that is going to have an event in town has to have a certificate of insurance. It's pretty standard practice, but. Again, like these are special circumstances, and I want to make sure that all the variables are always in the resolution, so that if there's ever a question, and then there's an email chain in there as well about me explaining the need for the insurance. So, as this gets closer, if there's any issues with it, I'll certainly bring it up. But this type of thing will always be baked into the resolutions.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
So in this instance, from the notes that I read, they are going to be using the Chamber of Commerce's insurance, or? I was a little confused on the letters that you sent in the packet.
There were several people on there. Point Vision will have their own insurance.
Okay.
And Point Vision's insurance will cover City of Strawberry Point as an additional insured.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very common thing, like they already have insurance most likely. It's just a matter of, like if we were participating somewhere, I would call our insurer and say, hey, could you list X, Y, and Z as an additional insured? Takes a few minutes, and these types of things are usually included in organizations' insurance plans already. So it's just a matter of having a certificate saying that your event is covered by your insurance. And then if we had a spectator out there or kids playing and you got hurt or whatever, that would probably fall under our insurance as well.
Anything else?
So along with that, our 5K run that's going to happen, is that any different than a pickleball tournament?
It depends what facilities are being used. Like if you're just using the public roads, that would be one thing. If you were using the walking track, I would say additional insured would be the right way to go.
Because I think the finish is on the walking track.
Okay.
The last point 3 of the run is going to finish on the walking trail.
When is the event?
That is June 13th.
Same day?
Saturday, June 13th.
Let me look into that with our insurance company, and they were adamant that the pickleball had to have additional insurance. Let me double check with them, and then if so, we can handle it in the next meeting.
That will start and finish on the walking trail.
Okay. All right.
And it will be on all of our streets.
Yeah, and then what's the organization that's putting that on?
That would be the Starmont volleyball team.
Okay.
That probably would be a good idea. I mean, in case somebody gets hit by a car,
Yeah.
Well, we've had a 5K here for a long time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as long as you're talking about insurance
Yeah.
for pickleball tournament.
Yeah.
We better throw that in too, just
Absolutely.
in case some weird thing happens. And
Yeah. I'll check with our insurance. I'll check with Starman's volleyball team. There may be insurance already that covers it, that we just need to be additionally insured.
that would be Tracy Curtis, our athletic director.
Okay.
And their coach, the head girls coach, is Emily O'Deffer.
Okay.
OTD.
There you go.
OER. FER. What's that?
Yeah, I got it. All right. Very good.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we'll go to vote. Roger?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Number 12, Resolution 2646, approving the hiring of seasonal pool staff and setting wages.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, motion second.
So this is just a pro forma measure that, in our extensive discussions with the auditor this year, who's auditing last year's books, we're putting this forward. They want anytime, that there's a hire, instead of a motion, they're looking for a resolution with all these details on it. So this is basically everybody that's getting hired to be at the pool. Obviously, the hours will vary from person to person, but this is the roster, including management and the hourly wages.
The two that are changed on here, how come they're changed?
So the two that were changed, there was kind of a gray area in the book. The $13 to $14 and the $14 to $15 is because these are both second-year lifeguards. They're not second-year lifeguards here, and it was unclear in the book if it was second-year lifeguards here or second-year lifeguards in general. So I took the liberty to put them as second-year lifeguards, on the layout.
Jackson Pope is actually third year.
Third.
Okay. And then Katie Althouse, is she something additional to a lifeguard?
She's an adult, and so falls under a slightly different, and Katie's only filling in when, if there's a absence.
Just curious. Well, good. Glad we have such a robust staff.
Yeah.
That's awesome to
Yeah,
see.
it's really good.
Great.
And I like that there's still, some returning, some
Good
new,
mix, yeah.
there's a good mix.
Yep.
Yeah. And they'll be certified next week at the pool, so if you see people in there before we officially open, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? We'll go to vote. Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Number 13, Resolution 2648, approving a grant submission for an in-vehicle video system replacement.
Make a motion. I'll second.
All right,
Great.
motion.
All right, I'm going to have the police chief come up and walk us through this one.
All right. Just kind of an overview, I guess. So both of our squad cars have in-car camera system. From what I remember, the older one is probably roughly 12 years old, and the newer one is a new squad car now. I actually ordered through a STEP grant, and it was brand new right before we got the 2018 squad cars. So that one's about 8 years old. So, they're watch guard systems is what they're called. Watch guard no longer exists. Motorola bought them out. So it seems like any time that we have questions, concerns, anything, support stuff, you call Motorola and they say, well, we can sell you a new system. The system in the 24, that one seems to be working pretty good, but it's quite a bit newer too. The old one, there's a glitch on the screen, so the screen's constantly glitching out and stuff. It doesn't affect the video, but pretty much every criminal case that we have video, it gets submitted to the county attorney. We maintain it on our server. So it's pretty important. So what I did was I put them through that for Mississippi grant. They accepted us through the pre-app process, and obviously once it gets to that point, any board member can move forward with filling out the actual grant application. So for 2 camera systems, I got quotes for the system that we'd like to go to, 1080 video. Monona Police Department went with them. They're happy with everything that they got. So for the 2 systems, $6,308. And then for install for both of them through a 1033 vehicle systems up in Wisconsin, who a lot of the people go through in a lot of departments, it's $1,460.50. So I put all that on the grant application. They like to see 25 to 30% match on the city's part for Mississippi. So what I put in was approximately the project cost was $7,768.50, and grant funds that we were requesting, I put down that 30% from the city. So funds requested were $5,437.95 for the updated systems. That leaves a little bit on us to come up with. I believe it's $2,330.55. So I figured we've got past the pre-app process. I did speak with them last year, because I put in last year and they weren't accepted, so just my thought process, but I think we got a pretty good chance at
Sure.
getting funds this year, so.
Okay, great, thank you.
If you have any questions, let me know, but yeah, pretty much just need board approval to move forward with filling out the actual grant, the full application. I think I have that done by second week of August.
Then we find out, is it like October you find out?
Yeah,
Or
it's
something like that?
October we find out, and then you can start purchasing and things like that. So. And I explained to the company that it was for a grant, so the prices are locked in, they're good to go through the process too. So if we are accepted, everything will be the same.
Good. Thank you.
Always appreciate supplementing the budget. Like, if you could find a grant
Yeah.
like that, people that go out and do that,
Yep.
grateful, very grateful.
Yep, so we're just, I guess a side note, we're working on a couple other ones too, because I know it's not free money, but obviously it's opportunities that you can seek out. But I think, John's working on one with the DOT right now for a handheld radar unit and stuff for the south end of town, and then obviously the north end of town where there's not a lot of spots to run radar, like on Elkader Street and stuff like that, but we get a lot of speed complaints, so. We do the best we can, but a handheld would be a lot nicer too, so.
Any other questions? Now we'll go to vote. Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number
It's up to
14,
you.
motion to discuss
Did you read
provide
the memo?
scooter safety efforts.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we discuss them.
Second.
All right, motion and a second.
All right, so this came up in the last meeting. I created a memo, just kind of looked at what other municipalities were doing, and as you can imagine, a lot of municipalities are having the same issues we are with, crazy driving, speeding, unsafe behavior, so on and so forth. There's a lot of reading in here, a lot of footnotes, and basically, municipalities have done a vast number of different things, mostly around education. Some have implemented speed, like a speed limit. I thought that would be interesting to do here, but we don't have any way to enforce it. Maybe when we get a handheld, that would be different. So after all the reading, and I thought my recommendation right now would be to focus on the educational pieces. Have a flyer ready for Strawberry Days, have a flyer ready for, we can put in the police cars, if the police see any unsafe behavior, or, anybody else that works for the city, we can have a poster at the library, civic center, areas around town. Really focus on education, and then monitor it throughout the summer, and if it doesn't seem to be having any sort of positive effect, then we can start looking at ordinance, legislative issues that could mitigate it. But right now, we just don't have a way to enforce any speed limits. So that's kind of a lot. There's a lot in the memo. I don't know if you want to read and dissect it, and talk about it in the next meeting, or if you have questions or comments or direction on this tonight. I'm happy to take it.
And you said did you talk to some of the parents, or?
Yeah, I had a parent reach out before they bought it. I was real honest, I just told them, I don't think they're a good idea, just because of the fact that a lot of the times they're on the street, or at least on the edge of the street, sidewalk, if somebody's walking their dogs, they're kids are gonna be kids. So they're cooking down the sidewalk, and instead of slowing down, and, they'll zip around people. I've been spending some time down by the ball diamond, like ball nights and things like that, and I've talked to a couple of the kids and just kind of informed them. And as far as the speed issue, they're not speeding, they're not going over any posted speed. I don't even think the scooters will go that fast, to be honest, but a lot of like the wheelies and things like that, that's what I've been talking to them. Well, I told them, I said, hey, it's not super lit down here, you guys are on a freshly blacktop street with black scooters with, well, they have lights on them, with lights with, parents, I've just told the kids, I said, if your parents have any questions, tell them to reach out to me, but I'm like, be careful, nobody wants to see you guys get hurt. It's the biggest thing is the safety of it. It's just so hard right now because there's no, so there's no legislature, there's no laws, I guess, against them. That's why in a lot of the big cities, they have these companies that have scooters parked all over the place, they cruise up and down the sidewalks and everything else.
Yeah.
There's just not really anything to curb it, I guess.
Yeah, one of the education pieces that we wanted to touch on is the healthcare costs around having your kid go with a broken arm or a collarbone, or, you know, I figure in a place that, you know, healthcare is not super easily accessible anyway, and also very expensive, it might be a good motivating factor for parents to reel it in a little bit.
Well, one of the big things that I explained to the parents that I talked to was I said they're not required by law to have insurance on them either. But, you know, I said you're still going 15 mile an hour down the edge of the street, you know, a car pulls out or they pull out in front of the car, so you're going to be liable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to come back on you regardless, but if you're not required to carry insurance, you know, it's still going to be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it literally just comes down to, you know, I hate to say it, but it comes down to a parenting thing. So parents are just going to step up and.
When I was young, we actually had little safety courses that we put out there, and I think it was done by the local police department, where we got the kids together and we just went through the same road rules as we have as car drivers. You know, you got to follow the rules, or you're going to risk being injured. And I think maybe we should get back to something like that with the kids in our community. I don't know if we, you know, go out to the library and have a little bicycle training or safety course out there. I think it's important that they understand that. I have had an experience with one fellow that he was hanging on the back of my bumper on my pickup on one of them little scooters. And I think it was a stand-up scooter thing, you know, and he's hanging on to my pickup, and I'm thinking, man, if I had to stop for a squirrel or whatever, and I sometimes do, this kid would not be in good shape. You know? So those are the kind of things you got to teach these kids. They probably know it, but you got to make it important to them that it's serious.
We did a bicycle rally, I think it's been two years ago maybe. Yeah, just a couple years ago. We had a bunch of helmets and stuff from Osborne, so we handed those out, and it was good, but I think it's just something that you would almost have to establish and just almost try to make it like maybe an every other year thing or something like that, where once those helmets and stuff are due to be replaced, kids can come up and, because we had courses set up out there, and the state will send you all the free information that you want, things like that.
So other people at home are enforcing it too, you know.
We can do everything we can, but at the end of the day, it does come down to the people that are pushing it home.
But I think if you enforce it from a law enforcement point of view, I mean, if you actually took the bull by the horns on it and said, you know, this is wrong, you have to do it this way, the kids, the majority of them are going to listen to you. There's going to be that one or two that you just can't get through there.
And I will say, we honestly don't have a lot of issues as far as, you know, complaints with kids on bikes, four-wheelers, any of that stuff. Everybody's pretty good. I mean, we deal with them maybe, John, a couple times a year. That's maybe a couple times a year we deal with something like that. But the scooters, they're new. I mean, they're, you know, one kid gets one and then the friends start seeing it, and then all of a sudden you got 4, 5, 6 of them showing up, and then all of a sudden they're all over the place. So,
maybe we need to get the parents to the library and teach them.
And that's what I agree with, you know, getting the information out, doing the educational approach, and just having it available to them so that they know what the expectations are. So, and sometimes you get talking to. Helps too.
Great. Thank you.
They last week they were cutting donuts on the baseball field. So on around home plate. So,
with the scooters?
There were scooters.
We had a four-wheeler down there the other day. Levi dealt with that. So if you've met Levi, he got his point across pretty good.
Did we confiscate it?
We did not.
Next time.
No, he's a good kid. He just, I think he was just young enough. He just honestly didn't know. He wasn't doing anything, you know, he wasn't damaging anything, but he just didn't know that he could be cruising all over the place.
Maybe we should put a sign up down there.
You know, no four-wheelers, and then just add to it as we get.
And scooters,
not a racetrack.
Maybe we just need to have Levi talk to the kids about it.
We could put a big speaker up with Levi's voice on there. Hey! That'll be funny.
I don't know if any of you, this is kind of on the subject of bicycles, but I don't know if you've ever been to Amsterdam.
Many times.
bicycles rule that country.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta get, the cars gotta get out of the way, the people that are walking gotta get out of the way for the bicycles. You know,
Yeah.
it's a culture thing, but,
And no guardrails on the canals.
yeah.
So you get out of line, you go right in. Yeah.
All right, any other questions regarding food or safety? Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, thanks for your research. All right, number 15, resolution 2651, approving the installation of an epoxy floor at the pool facility for an amount not to exceed $6,000.
I'll make the motion, okay.
Second.
Okay, so this ties into the grant. So part of the grant request earlier was renovations to the bathroom, or to the bathhouse, which included the epoxy floor, painting, new lighting, some new fixtures. When we were told that we didn't get the grant, a lot of those took a back seat. And now that we switched gears and are putting the shade structure up, we have an opportunity, and I don't yet, and it's only because of the timing of the issue, but we have members of the pool committee here also. We have an opportunity to have a company come in and epoxy the floor. They can do the bathhouse, the hallway, and the concession stand, all of which need it. And it would be less than, I think I had $6,000 in here. But I don't have the quote or the invoice. So if the council is comfortable, I would love to have the latitude to be able to pull the trigger on this. Hopefully when I get the invoice tomorrow, or the quote, and it might be able to be done in time for the opening of the season. If not, because the pool's going to be open 6-7 days a week, we're not going to have the opportunity to do the floor there until next season. So, kind of up to you. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it at all, or if you have any questions from the committee. This was kind of last minute. This was Monday night that we had the pool committee meeting, so this is all coming together very quickly. Other concerns were, we don't know the company, we don't know the warranty yet. Eric brought up some really good variables to consider. Are we getting a warranty? How are they doing the prep? So, like I said, if you are all comfortable that we will not hire them unless we're satisfied with the quality and the prep and so on and so forth, then, we can approve this tonight. If this doesn't get approved tonight, and I'm not saying this to try to back anybody into the corner, I feel like if we need to push this off for a season, so be it, because it is late, and I don't
What
like
are we
bringing.
talking for epoxy?
What was that?
What are we talking, it's
Yeah.
water, so.
It'll have like a grit in it, so it'll be like a really nice sort of finished floor that they'll grind down the discrepancies between the cement levels and make it sort of wheelchair accessible. And it'll be one cohesive finish all the way through the bathhouse to that middle hallway that goes to the pool and the concession stand. So it'll all be just kind of one floor.
If you've been into the locker rooms at Starmont, those are epoxy floors.
Yeah, I was part of that whole.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
But that's also heated, that's a temperature sensitive
When
thing.
it's set,
It doesn't matter if it's
No,
20 below zero or.
Well,
if it's-
these are the things you want to find out. We have to find out. There are epoxy floors that are year round, but want to make sure that this company, because the company, like I said, we don't even know the company. I know the name of the company, but I haven't spoken to them yet. This is through somebody on the pool committee who just got very busy for extenuating circumstances. So we're waiting to hear from this person about exactly how they're going to do it, if the epoxy is going to be rated for extreme cold and extreme hot, so on and so forth. But we wouldn't do the project unless it was suitable for outdoor, over the winter, survivability.
So you mentioned the grant, but this would not be part of what we're asking for the grant because.
We pulled this out of the
Okay.
grant request, and we'll replace it with some other thing that we want to do in the next season.
Okay.
Now that we know the timing of the grant, which would have been really good for us if they had disclosed that at the beginning, that, we can't even start on a project until
The
we
funds
get
are-
an award.
yeah.
Yeah, so, I just full disclosure, I don't like bringing a resolution like this without the quote, without the details. Just have to trust that if you approve this tonight, that Eric and I will look at the details, and if it's not suitable for a long-lasting lifespan down there, and it's not suitable for year-round and extreme temperatures, we'll just say no.
So basically, this is just, if everything is good with everything's kosher, then it's okay for you to.
That's kind of what we're looking for, yeah.
Eric, can I ask your thoughts? Like, did you have concerns or?
Just the preference.
Yeah.
If that's not recreational, it'll chip and fall right off.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they said they would, according to Randy, when I talked to her today, they will do all of that prep work and, break it all down and everything.
So, I mean, I'm sure that both of you will make sure to ask them all kinds of questions before.
Yeah, I mean, Eric's the litmus test on the quality. Like, if Eric says, yes, this looks like a good idea, then great. If he has any concerns whatsoever, I'm not going to do it. I'll focus more on the business end, warranty, how, are you going to come and fix it or replace it if it breaks under warranty, like that sort of stuff. And we're both pretty nitpicky, so I think between the two of us, we're not going to let a bad project go forward with it.
He's bonded, like we said.
Yeah.
He's local from Dundee, and Randy Timmerman had worked with him before, and that's how we got this gentleman, so.
Great.
But, I mean, the hope is everything will be done before we open, like?
Yes.
They should do it this weekend.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea. It really does need something in there, for sanitation purposes, for no other reason, so.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't like bringing this at this, I mean, you guys know me by now, I don't like to bring it without the research done, but, we'll get it done, and,
Timing type of thing at this point.
yeah, and if we had to wait till the next meeting, then there's no chance for it to happen.
Okay, any other questions? Now we'll go to vote. Michelle? Roger?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Okay. On to other business.
No other business on our end?
I have three things. Okay. Number one, with Strawberry Days coming up, it's important, I feel it's important for Strawberry Point to put their best foot forward. Have we done any notification on our nuisance property owners to get things cleaned up before we have a whole bunch of visitors into our town? Have we notified any of our people, and where does that stand right now?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of cleaning.
You want to talk about our process? Yeah, all right. All right, come on back up. You're the next contestant.
So the last couple meetings, basically since our last meeting, we've been getting after it pretty hard. So Dino set us up with a program where we can go in, log all the nuisances, made it super friendly for us. I think we were up to approximately 40. I think that we did. We went through everything, and we just said if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. So we're addressing everything, big, small, everything in between. We did mail out, probably 8 of them?
7 to 8, yeah.
7 to 8. Just to landlords, people who live outside the area. But otherwise, we opted that the police department, in cooperation with City Hall, obviously, we're going to go around and serve them personally. So that we can discuss with them and tell them, hey, this is what we're seeing. It falls within the nuisance abatement. Get this cleaned up, start working on this. I think we're giving them, most of them, there's 30 days that we're giving them before they fall into the follow-up process, and then go on to the municipal infraction section of it. So John served some today. He served half a dozen today. Like I said, we sent out, I think, 7 or 8 of them. So yeah, we're thinking probably by the end of the weekend we'll have most of them served. Start checking on them. So usually, we're gonna have some that just they're gonna run around. But I think most of them from the past, they'll take care of them as long as we keep in contact with them. And I think personally serving them on them and discussing it with them is gonna kind of help the process along. So a lot of them are just, we have a lot of abandoned vehicles in town. So a lot of them are tucked behind houses, things like that. But we gotta get them out. We talked to said that he'll help out, take the vehicles and get rid of them, things like that. So we got permission from him to hand out his phone number and his name and stuff so that people can reach out if they don't have the means or the time to get it taken care of. So abandoned vehicles are big ones. Brush piles, things like that. People trim up trees, fence lines, and they just pile it and never really get around to getting rid of it. So I've had people ask about brush, things like that, with the city dump not being open all the time. So discuss the truck thing with them and stuff like that. But obviously, I think a lot of people will just get rid of them. So
Great.
I think just since putting the post out that we did, and it kind of got some talk going and things like that. So I have seen some of the properties that were in question, or they're making some progress too. So we'll still get them served, but we'll let them know that, hey, you're going in the right direction, but still have some work to do. But we have a couple severe cases. One was out of state, so I did call them, and they're going to start working on it. I think they probably got about 6 or 8 abandoned vehicles stuff in Tahoe. So I kind of pointed in the right direction as far as like getting the paperwork and stuff that she needs to get them out of there. So I gave her a little bit extra time just because of the geographical issues. But other than that, it's I think we're going in the right direction. We got quite a few to serve, but
Super.
Good,
Thank you.
thank you.
So yes.
Number 2 on my list was, I had a person talk to me today about, from the Heart and Soul Committee. They were out talking to our local people, and one of our local business people were upset that we did not seek them out for pool furniture.
Yeah.
And I do not know if they gave a donation to Heart and Soul, but I know the discussion was not the most positive. So I think we still need to, if at least at the bare minimum, if we need something and we have a local person that can produce that or have that for us, I still think we need to at least talk to them, at least seek them out and say, hey, what can you do for us? And if they can't, they can't, but at least we've tried to talk to them.
But that's also a committee, that's not the city doing that, that's the pool committee that does that, so that's something to address with the pool committee. That's not the city that did that. That's a separate committee that made that decision. So that'd be something to address with them, that maybe they should look local.
We approved pool furniture at the last meeting.
Right, so at the last meeting,
We approved pool
we should
furniture.
have said something about
Okay.
local.
And this was, I think the business person was upset that they might have been able to help us out with a couple pieces and nobody checked them.
Yeah. Well, it's good feedback. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback, and there is still some pool furniture that needs to be ordered. We have a big back order from one of the companies today on some of the lounge chairs. So I'll reach out to him tomorrow, give him the type of chair we were looking at, and see if he wants to put in a quote on it.
That'd be perfect.
Right, yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
The number 3 on my list was one of our goals that we approved as a council was to improve visibility of council members. So I just want to throw this question out with Strawberry Days coming up. As council people, I'll be thinking about what events that we're going to be participating in, where are we going to go to make ourselves visible. It's our community celebration, and we've got to show that we're supporting it, and we need to be very visible as council people. That's my opinion. We've approved that as a goal for the council. So I just wanted to throw that out as a thing to be thinking about with Strawberry Days a couple weeks away. That's all I have.
That's
I vote to adjourn.
You ready?
Well, Dino and I can discuss it later. No.
Okay. You want a second or motion?
I'll take no.
Okay. All right, thank you, everybody. I've got everything signed.
You got everything signed?
I think
All right,
so.
thank you. All right, do you want me to sit back and you want to talk?
Yeah, it's just a few things that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shut these off.